Welcome to Creative Brews. I'm Kristen, and this is your weekly dose of creativity, where photography, design, and life come together. So, grab your favorite drink, and let's talk about what's brewing. Hello, and welcome back to Creative Brews. Welcome back to Escaping the Matrix. This is part 4, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about why everyone wants to escape right now, or why it seems that way anyway. So, let me just go ahead and stop. If you have not tuned into parts 1, 2, or 3, I highly recommend that you do that. Pause this, go listen to those, come back, and and again, I'm just going to go ahead and say it like I do in every episode. Please make sure to do your own research, and if you have any information, please leave it below. I really want this to be like a community style, everybody pitches in and all that stuff. So I think it'd be very interesting. So, let's just go ahead and get right on into it, right? Why are so many people suddenly talking about escaping the Matrix? Why? Because people are exhausted. Not necessarily physically, but mentally, emotionally, energetically. Mainly mentally and energetically. I kind of feel like everybody is exhausted in some way, shape, or form, right? And you might be physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. So, we are going to dive deep into this because we're going to talk about screen time, social media, digital burnout, comparison culture, information overload, and some fun facts. So, yeah, today's episode is going to be very interesting. So, again, as I said a little bit ago, I found some statistics through researching this topic, researching, what we've been talking about and stuff like that. So, screen time. Research consistently shows many adults, this is just adults, spend approximately 6 to 7 hours per day interacting with screens outside of work-related activities. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to kind of just let that sit with you for a minute. Just kind of think, how many times you pick up your phone and stuff like that. How many times, it could even be TV shows and stuff like that, so imagine spending nearly a full work day outside of your work, mind you, consuming information every single day. Isn't that crazy to think about? I think so. So, I'm going to go through each one and then kind of talk about each one at the end, okay? Social media usage. Many studies report people spend around 2 to 2.5 hours daily on social media and one go. So let's say you pick up your phone. You're most likely going to be on your phone for 2 to 2.5 hours. And that's periodically throughout the day. That's nearly a month every year spent scrolling. And this is just being general / conservative as far as that statistic, goes. Yeah. Digital burnout. So, we're connected more than ever, obviously. That's an obvious thing to say, right? Yet many people feel disconnected from themselves. That's the key word, themselves. We have access to everyone, yet many people struggle to access themselves. There's so much more I want to talk about, but we're going to kind of just go through each one. Comparison culture. So this is a big one. We compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel because obviously not a lot of people upload the in-between, the behind the scenes, the no's that they received, the negative things that they go through. So we often compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Then wonder why we feel inadequate. Or you feel, I'm not doing it right. Or whatever it is. Information overload. The human brain evolved for survival, not endless content consumption. Thousands of opinions, constant updates, endless notifications. The human brain wasn't designed to process an infinite stream of information every waking moment of the day. We're not like the internet. Our brains was not meant to handle all of this stuff that's going on a constant, endless loop here. I'm going to go back through and kind of talk about each one here. The screen time thing I basically already talked about. All these things that I'm talking about, like social media, screen time, all these things, I used to have on my phone, like the screen time. It would keep a hold of how long, and how many times you grabbed your phone and stuff like that. I, a few years ago, turned that off because a few years ago, I became a new mom. And we brought our little one home after I had him in December of 2024. And I believe I was doing nap time. And he was newborn, super new, all that stuff, new mom, newborn, So I remember my phone going off. Like, I think I either received a text message or a phone call. And it literally almost woke him up. And this is basically what clicked, or when it clicked for me. And yes, it took, looking at it from a different point of view, but that's the reason why I talk about these things, because I feel like I'm able to give some different points of view, some different, information, some different things to think about. Because for me, it took my little one, or our little one, being almost woken up because someone called me, or someone texted me, or I got a notification, whatever it was. I can't really remember exactly what it was. I told myself from that day forward, my phone is not a priority. My digital presence online was never a priority in my eyes anyway. So even before becoming a new mom, I wasn't like, oh my God, I've got to post X amount a day. I've got to do this on social media. I got to be this person digitally. Like, your digital presence, yes, matters in some way, shape, or form to some degree. If you're a business owner, if, maybe you're a content creator even, stuff like that. Maybe you're an author, maybe you're a narrator. Whatever it is, yes, to some degree it does matter to have some kind of digital presence. However, those things are not, they're a priority to some degree, but they're not a priority to where I'm going out of my way, day in and day out, to make sure that I have to do whatever it is, Like this podcast. Sometimes I miss some weeks, and that's okay. Like, this podcast is not a job for me. Like, I don't get paid to do these episodes and stuff like that. I always say, now, if it does become some form of income, that's great. If it doesn't, that's great. Like, I'm not trying to go out of my way and put my life on pause and my family's life on pause because I'm a content creator. You know what I mean? Like, so with all that being said, from that day forward, I put my phone on a schedule. Yes, I no longer get social media notifications. And honestly, it came from not only a place of love, but a place of, I have to do this for myself. I have to do this for our little one. I have to do this mainly for myself. Because the social media notifications, the text, the calls, and I don't mean calls from like loved ones. I mean those stupid calls that you get that are, spam or whatever the case is. Like, you don't need to answer that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. So from that day forward, I put my phone on a schedule. And I do mean that. Like, I have a work schedule that I've put on my phone. I have a bedtime routine schedule that I put on my phone, because these are all things that I do within my life anyway. So it only made sense that I would do that on my phone. So while people think they have constant and endless connection to whoever it is, to some degree, yeah, that's true, but to another degree, it's actually not that true when you think about it. Anyways, all this to say, I within my day-to-day life, I have focused blocks of time that, yes, I go on social media. It's not that I'm sitting here saying, oh, I never go on social media. On the weekends, I do not go on social media, which I'm planning on doing another episode. I feel like I did an episode about talking about that, maybe not solely about that, but I'm thinking about doing an episode on that and talking more in depth of what that means and what that looks like, because on weekends I do not go on social media. I instead spend time with my family. Like, I think these are all things that we should be talking about, because they're all tangible things, like the fleeting moments, the small moments that you're never going to get back again. So I'll leave all that for that episode, but yeah, that's the reason why I don't get on social media on the weekends. I get off social media, go do something real, touch grass, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, and I do focused blocks of time for social media, and digital form content, like posting my reels, posting these episodes, posting, all those things. So I do focus blocks of time, and that works best for me because I don't consume a lot of social, content, screen time or social media usage or digital burnout. Like, these are all ways I've been able to still do what I love, because obviously I love documenting my life and our son's life, so that way he'll have memories and stuff like that. But anyways, let's move on. I believe I made my point. But yeah, and as far as the information overload, if you think of it from a toddler or a infant even, who, they're brand new to the world, and maybe let's say they sat and watched hours of TV or, music or whatever it is, they're gonna get overstimulated. And what information overload really is overstimulation. And as adults, yes, we do get overstimulated. Why do you think you're stressed? Why do you think you have anxiety? And all these things, like, yeah. So, let's move on. Here's some fun facts. Attention is one of the most valuable resources in the modern economy in today's time. Apps want your attention. Advertisers want your attention. Algorithms want your attention. The longer you spend on an app, the more money they make. The more they reel you in, the more they hook you in. Protecting your attention may be one of the most important things you do. Period. I'm going to go ahead and end it with this. Most people aren't craving more productivity. They're craving more peace. And they're craving more of their real life. Tangible things, the small moments, the fleeting moments, and stuff like that, right? So, yes, I hope this all makes sense. I hope you all are enjoying Escaping the Matrix. I know I've been enjoying talking about it. It's so super interesting to me. So, yes, in the next episode, we're going to talk about how to escape the Matrix, like the actual steps and stuff like that. So I hope this all gives you the exciting feeling, the information you've been needing and stuff like that. I hope it's able to really resonate with you and really, get you to see that there's more to life than just waking up every day and doing the same thing every day. So, with all that being said, I appreciate everyone tuning in and the support. It definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And if you are interested in deeper thoughts and deep things, period, you should check out my book, The Daily Divine, a book of soulful truths and everyday wisdom. And yeah, let me know what you think about it. I love to hear people's thoughts about it. Yeah, I believe that's everything. Please make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!